Retirement is a big life change, and with it actually stirs a lot of anxiety for men and women, but it looks very differently for a man versus a woman. So on this video today, we're going to be talking about what it looks like for a man's anxiety leading to retirement versus a woman's anxiety leading to retirement. But before we get into that, don't forget to subscribe to this channel for a regular, pleasant financial conversation. Anxiety. We all have it to some level through different parts of our life, but really when you have a huge life change, it's natural for us to have questions on how things are going to work. And when it comes to retiring, men and women have different questions that they're trying to answer. And this is a conversation I was having inside my online community on Facebook. So it's Pleasant Financial Conversations. And if you're a woman, you're welcome to go join me there. There's my plug. Sorry, fellas, don't have that community for you right now. But as I was sharing it with this online community and having conversations with women, I just realized how important it is to state publicly that men and women are highly anxious when we get to retirement, and it's looking very differently. So oftentimes, if you have a traditional couple, a man and a woman, they're talking past each other on why or why not retirement is going to work. And that's what I want to highlight in this video. So I'm going to start with men. Men enter retirement. They've got more of a grasp of the logistics of money, likely as the typical male that's retiring today has had a history of talking about the jargon of the industry. So what an IRA versus a Roth IRA versus a 401k is. And so that piece is not as how the tactics of the money coming into their account is not as top of mind for a man. Often what I hear instead is that there is a question about who he will be after he retires. I just recognize that society puts so much pressure on men to provide a paycheck. And so what does it mean to actually quit your job, stop working, and be in retirement? How do you define yourself when you go to that social gathering and someone says, "Hey, so what do you do, Liz?" Or I guess a man's name.
"So what do you do, John?"
And he has to answer that question. And he no longer has the career to anchor himself in that conversation. So that actually creates a lot of anxiety for men. Men hesitate to make the retirement decision, even if the numbers look fantastic, if they know they can get the same amount of monthly income, or they can even get a pay increase in retirement. Everything looks good. They might know that piece of it, but they still have questions about who they are in retirement. For women, it's an entirely different conversation. So women feel perfectly fine stepping out of the workforce. We've had to do it often, just kind of with the traditional role of a woman. She is stepping out to care for children or for ailing parents or even for a sick spouse. So that stepping out of the role of working to not working doesn't have the same weight that it does for a man. However, for the woman, she is highly aware of monthly income and how it works. So the traditional woman is playing a bookkeeper type of role for the family. She's watching the monthly expense or the monthly income come in and the expenses go out. So now that you've cut the income, how is this going to work? That is what she is asking. And with the further anxiety of women have a lot more longevity, they're planning to live a lot longer. And so, okay, you've told me that this works in the first couple of years of retirement, but when does that nest egg run out? Am I going to be a bad lady? That is really the question that women are asking. And so that is the anxiety that the woman is dealing with. So she wants to retire sooner, but probably just needs the security of the long-term plan of the paychecks. And the man is probably not as comfortable stepping out of retirement, but totally comfortable with how the financial plan works out. All right, friends, that's all I have for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate it as always. So there you go. Another example of men are from Mars and women are from Venus, or men are waffles and women are spaghetti, or whatever other analogy you would like to make about the difference between men and women. But we find that as couples, a traditional couple at least, is stepping towards retirement and starting those conversations. They're often miscommunicating with each other about what their true concerns are. And so that's where an advisor can step in and kind of help you navigate that conversation gracefully so that you both have the confidence to step into retirement and take that next step together. And one is not dragging their feet while the other one is highly anxious in the process. So if that's something you're interested in, you're welcome to go to our website, www.pleasantwealth.com, to set that meeting, and we'll look forward to having a conversation with you. So until next time, friends, you take care.